Hello, hello, and welcome. Welcome on into the Swear Word. I'm your host, Brandon Swear, and hey, this is a podcast for the chili community, by the chili community. Regardless of your spice tolerance, this is the place for you. Man, we have an amazing episode here tonight. We have 3 products on deck for Hot or Not, and we are going to be diving into everything, talking about fermented, cooked, uncooked hot sauce salsa, what methods, how the unique flavors, the benefits, and everything that's use case in between. So let's go ahead and kick on episode 92. What's going on, Swear Nation? So glad to have everyone here. Whether you're tuning in on YouTube, Spotify, Rumble, Apple Podcasts, thank you so much for being here and making this channel what it is. Continue to share this out with other like-minded chili heads or individuals that are curious about the world of hot, because this is where you can find everything to do with the world of hot. Up tonight, we have 3 amazing products on Hot or Not from Spicy Caballero. We're going to be diving into these. It's his nice trio that he has going on here from a spice blend standpoint, how you can use it, what best pairings are going to go with it. We'll be diving into that on Hot or Not. Now, as far as the conversation discussion tonight, we will be talking about fermented, cooked, uncooked when it comes to hot sauce and salsas. You know, what really brings out those unique flavors, the different health benefits, the use cases for these, and which one might be right for you. So let's go ahead and jump on over to Hot or Not. Welcome on into Hot or Not. We have 3 amazing products on Hot or Not tonight. El Boricua, we have Big Ed's Magic Dust, and then we have Spicy Boricua. So we're going to be diving into all 3 of these amazing spices here. This is going to make your barbecue really pop and sing. Ed does an amazing job. He's a great friend of mine who he's handcrafted these and really been able to fine tune some amazing big flavor in such a versatile package to be able to use it everywhere. So let's do this. We'll start out with El Boricua, and we're going to just start out with just the original. So there is the spicy version, and then this is the less spicy version here. So this is the original. We'll be diving into this one here. So let me go ahead and get that for all those that are keeping track. Yes, it does have a perforated cellophane. Because these are spices, I am going to go ahead and talk through, you know, what I'm experiencing, the taste, everything that goes on, as well as some use cases that I could see this really shining well on. And, you know, also still hit on the normal breakdown of heat, aroma, flavor, versatility, and burn. But tonight, we're not going to do an official scorecard on these. Just really want to kind of give you a good understanding of what you can expect from Spicy Caballero. So let's go ahead and jump on in here. Oh, wow. Aroma is beautiful. For all those that are taking a look here, as you can see, there we go. That's a good representation. Very nice, open, porous spots that you can see where it will be coming out. So you can see that this is going to have a nice coat. You're not really going to have to just some of those, the holes are so small and you're trying to shake it and trying to shake it. And not everything's able to come out. This, you're going to be able to experience everything that's there and have some fun being able to get this out. So, you know what? I'll try it with the shaker first. So because the spoon is wide and long, I'm going to bring it to the side, get a nice healthy amount here on the big tablespoon. Love the overall color, the breakdown. So it's not just fine granulars. You're seeing some spices, some herbs that are really in here. The herbs are, you know, slightly bigger than, say, some of the other granulars that are going on here, but a nice overall coat. This one looks like it would grab and hold on to, whether you're pre-seasoning meats ahead of time or using this as a finish towards the end as to get a nice pop to, say, some vegetables or some, hey, you know, even some like potato dish, something like that, you want to incorporate some spice, some flavor, you're really going to be able to do so with this. But cheers. Wow. Right off the bat, amazing flavor. You're getting some nice savory depth on this, some herby notes, what tastes like maybe some onion, some garlic. There's some kind of like a citrus note that I'm picking up as well. But holy cow, this is amazing. El Boricua from Spicy Caballero is absolutely amazing. Absolutely loving this. So he does have a heat scale on the back of the spice blends here. Salivating like crazy. This thing is packed with flavor. Absolutely amazing. Oh my gosh. Before I get into that, so we'll go ahead and mention he does have this one marked down as the lowest heat indicator possible for his. It says mild, medium, hot, and fire. So this is down to the very last one on the mild scale. So very reasonable, easy to handle. It does have some heat going on in there, but very, very reasonable. All in all, phenomenal job here. This is one that you're going to be able to utilize. And, you know, for someone that either is just starting out with the world of hot, they're just starting to dip their toes into, whether it be hot sauce or spicy seasonings, this is something that'll be manageable, enjoyable, and you're going to be able to bring tons of flavor to your food. Now, it does also still have some bite to it, so you will get some of that heat. It's going to be, you know, very faint, but towards the back of the mouth. All in all, phenomenal. I mean, immediately, this on some like grilled chicken, some chicken quarters, coating this on there. Oh my gosh, that's immediately where my head went. This is going to be absolutely phenomenal with that. Let's see what's going on here. So, it says here, it's truly one of a kind, true all-purpose seasoning blend. Whether you're cooking in the kitchen, the smoker, or on the grill, this low sodium, no sugar added, family-friendly blend will bring the perfect balance of flavor into any dish, from proteins to veggies, from soups to rice dishes, of course, any classic Puerto Rican dish. Give El Boricua a try and let the Spanish Caribbean flavors help you create the most memorable meals you and your family have ever enjoyed. I mean, absolutely spot on. I can see this thing just really being extremely versatile. This is that common go-to. You're getting ready to just season up, spice up your dish. This easily could be your core base that's going on right here. Love it. Let's go ahead and talk about the ingredients. So ingredients are spice, so garlic salt, and then we have garlic, Himalayan salt, onion, sea salt, black pepper, entillo, sumac, oregano, tamarind, cilantro, citric acid, lemon, cinnamon, and canola oil. Absolutely amazing. That lemon, even though it's down there on towards the end of the ingredient list, does a very good job of letting that sing and come forward. I love the blend on this. Very, very, you know, core to what it is. Easy to use with anything that you have going on without disrupting your overall seasoning. So I don't see why this can't be an easy go-to base for anything. And that's what that seems like that was geared towards. Now, if you are constantly working on your own personal best, you're pushing yourself, this is going to be one that you're going to really be able to enjoy with your food and enjoy the overall flavor and everything that has going on. But you're still not going to miss out on any of that heat. You still get some of that great pepper flavor and a nice kiss of heat. So let's do this. Let's jump on over to Big Ed's Magic Dust and give this one a good shake. Although everything's powder and incorporated, it's just natural habit. Want to shake it. All right, so does also have a perforation on the cellophane here, but of course, got to get it started. I want to get it going using the knife. Get that one opened up. and off to the side. Looks like I took off some of the sticker that was there. This is a 2024 Golden Chili winner. So just know that the Big Ed's Magic Dust, the overall aroma on this one, you're getting much more of a pepper note. You're picking up still some of the onion, some of the garlic. You're picking up some of the herbs that are going on in here. Very, very bold aroma going on. I'm loving it. Let's give this one a good shake out on the spoon and see what it looks like. Definitely seeing some, looks like some pepper flakes in this one. Seeing some more of the black pepper, some herbs. Looks like nice granulars of salt. Maybe that's either Himalayan or sea salt going on. And let's see what else we can identify as we're pouring this out. Man, overall, a great, once again, consistency to this. You know, it's got a nice mixture of not just the fine granulars, but also some larger bits here. So very, very much what you would kind of lather up on and keep there for, say, doing barbecues and you're really trying to coat the meat to really develop that bark as you're going when you're using a smoker. This is going to be perfect to be able to add to what you have going on to help that bark just naturally occur. But let's go ahead and jump on into Big Ed's Magic Dust. Wow. Right off the bat, that it has a slight, very faint at the very beginning, slight sweet note. Then this great savory depth comes forward. From that savory depth, you start to pick up some of the herby notes, some of the salt notes, some of the pepper notes are carrying forward, and then maybe that's turmeric. Overall, phenomenal body to this. Love what's going on. Once again, Magic Dust, easily one that you can gravitate towards for like burgers, sandwiches. I mean, I would even use this as the seasoned base when I'm getting ready to mix in and make my own salad dressing at home. This is going to bring tons of savory depth to your overall salad dressing and make it really pop and scream forward. This would go great as well to kind of kick up and bring some different fun and flavor towards a coleslaw. This would be able to really liven that up and bring it forward. I mean, you're kind of endless on what you could do with this. But I will say, this right here is going to be easily your go-to for making any kind of barbecue, burgers, tacos, anything you would naturally want a nice savory body added to it. This is going to be perfect for it. This is the Big Ed's Magic Dust Original. Let's go ahead and read off what he has on here. So it was the very first blend that he created and the one that made us fall in love with the art of flavor. Living in the piney woods of East Texas, our love for northeastern Texas style barbecue became the inspiration for this blend. Along with a touch of Caribbean and Latin flavors we grew up with in Puerto Rico, OG brings a balanced, savory, and bold yet mild flavor profile to the table that the whole family can enjoy. Use this in the kitchen or on the smoker or grill. From brisket to seafood to roasted vegetables to beans, OG can truly do it all. So, once again, he's got the heat score on the back of here. This is literally just one notch up from El Boricua. So, absolutely phenomenal stuff here. Let's dive into the ingredients on Big Ed's Magic Dust. So ingredients are spice, sea salt, organic sugar, garlic salt, chili powder, seasoned salt, and then it says chili spices, so including paprika and turmeric, onion, and then we have cornstarch, garlic, paprika, black pepper, garlic, onion, lemon pepper, celery seed, lemon oil, and crushed red pepper, cayenne, and canola oil. Absolutely amazing. I do love that you're able to actually see, whenever I was going through this, I could actually see the crushed red pepper flake in there. I love that attention to detail. I love the being able to really, carry forward that great flavor, that depth. It's not super in your face and just going to overpower your dish that you use this on. You're going to be able to bring great flavor forward without really just disrupting what you have going on. Absolutely phenomenal stuff here, Ed. Love it. Absolutely love it. And then, once again, this is another one that you're able to utilize with the whole family. I would say it's pretty much on par with El Boricua with the overall heat. You're not really going to get burned down. So if you're just starting out, you're going to be able to use this and enjoy this. Sure, you might see that it has some heat to it, but it's not going to just completely ignite you and make it to where you want to run for the water. This is going to have tons of flavor and absolutely elevate whatever you have going on. So if you are constantly working on your own personal best, that's exactly where I would place this. This is going to be an absolute core initial ingredient to use for adding to your spice mix. I know me, whenever I'm personally cooking at home, a lot of those ingredients in there I'm already doing and tossing in and having a good time. This is going to save me a lot of time and cut down on what I end up putting in, because I'm just going to take a few shakes of that and it'll alleviate everything else that I would have normally done. So next up, we have spicy boricua, and we're going to be jumping into that one here. Once again, a nice perforated cellophane on the outside. Let me get under the cellophane and pop that and pull it off to the side. And we're going to be jumping into this one. So spicy boricua, all of these are all natural craft rubs. They are low sodium, gluten-free, no MSG, and they are keto friendly. This is all Puerto Rican inspired blends and spices. Man, I mean, talk about really amplifying what you have going on. I love these spices. All right, so let me get this one going here. I'm going to go ahead and give it a good pour and get that on the spoon. Seeing some seeds in this one. Looks like some pepper seeds. You're seeing some salt granulars in there. You're definitely picking up as well some of the garlic. You can kind of see that. Absolutely loving it. Get the lid back on it so I'm not making a mess. And this is spicy boricua. Let's dive on in. Man. Well, there it is. Right off the bat. Savory. The pepper flavor coming through the pepper heat. And then you're getting a nice, what tastes like a little bit of a citrusy, zesty note towards it. Back to an earthy, herby note. Back to then from there, it's just like this cascade of amazing places. It's as if my taste buds are doing a nice little dance right here to the overall spice and flavor that is carried forward. Man, absolutely phenomenal stuff. Now this one, whenever the heat comes in, hits the gum, hits the tongue, kind of hits the whole kind of roof of the mouth pretty good as well. Whether that's just me kind of sloshing it around to really incorporate it and feel and break down what I'm experiencing, or if that's just the way this delivers. It could be either way, but phenomenal stuff here. If you're just starting out, moderation would be key on this one. Still something you could easily use and get comfortable with. But if you are constantly working on your own personal best, this is going to be a nice mild, medium, depending on where your tolerance is at, but phenomenal and absolutely bringing and delivering a nice, bold, complex, great savory note the whole way through. Man, spicy boricua is where it's at for me. That's where I'm going to be gravitating around. Now, whenever I get ready to start cooking with the family, I'm going to be using the magic dust and the original boricua. because the kids, not quite there as far as their overall heat tolerance, but still able to really get all that great flavor and all that great, complexities and body to the overall rub. So let's read this one off here. Spicy Boricua we have. It says, like its mild counterpart, spicy Boricua is inspired by the flavors of Puerto Rico, but in this case, we reached back into our Taino and African heritage for a touch of that spiciness we know our ancestors loved. African bird's eye, aka peri peri peppers, give this flavorful award-winning blend the perfect balance of savory flavor and medium level heat. Whether you're using spicy Boricua in the kitchen, the smoker, on the grill, or as a finishing spice, this low sodium, no sugar added, all-purpose seasoned blend will enhance any ingredient with the right flavor kick of heat, keeping you craving for more. Man, absolutely. And this one is marked slab dab in the middle right there on medium, just getting close to hot. So I absolutely agree with what's going on here. This is Spicy Boricua from Spicy Caballero, and absolutely loving this one. Ed, you have done it here. Again, another phenomenal seasoning from you. Ingredients are spice, garlic salt, garlic, sea salt, onion, Himalayan salt. Then we have black pepper, annatto, sumac, tamarind, cilantro, citric acid, lemon, and canola oil. That lemon is, while it once again is towards the finish on this in the ingredients lineup, man, it really speaks volumes as far as the flavor is concerned. It really helps carry things forward. It's almost as if it's that palate cleanser towards the finish that wants you to keep going back for more. So absolutely phenomenal stuff. Highly recommend checking out this lineup. I'll have the direct links down below for each individual one, as well as this trio kit, so you can check out and amplify and improve your cooking at home with Spicy Caballero. And then if you really are looking for that next level push from, your spice blend mix, Spicy Caballero also has the Texas Creeper. It is absolutely amazing, packs loads of heat, loads of flavor, and that is definitely geared towards the chili heads that are out there trying to push their own personal best. So check that one out as well. Add this to your cooking repertoire. But let's go ahead and start tonight's discussion. All right, so whether you love the smoky complexities to sauce, or just the bright freshness of salsa, or maybe that probiotic-packed fermented taste, the overall discovery that we'll talk through on this episode will help really define the best methods for you, whether that be for your taste and or your needs. And we'll also cover, what not to do with each one of these different iterations between fresh, cooked, and then, of course, fermented. We're going to just keep this at a nice high level first and foremost, and I already have planned out a deeper dive into fermentation, and we'll continue to add to these different discussion points. So if you have any questions or you want a specific topic covered a bit more in depth, let me know down in the comments and I'll make sure to make that happen. So let's talk about it. What are these different methods? So whenever you're looking at hot sauce or salsa, what you'll notice is that there is typically three different methods that you'll find. You'll have fermented hot sauce or fermented salsa. What happens there is these ingredients are aged over time with the natural bacteria that builds up. It adds to that complexity, to that flavor. It gives you some of that fresh funk that you're getting, and it's just overall loaded with probiotics for your gut, and absolutely just is a unique standalone approach. Now, some common sauces that most people are aware of when talking about fermented hot sauce, if you think of, say, Tabasco, Louisiana hot sauce, also sriracha, those are going to be fermented hot sauces that most people are pretty commonly familiar with. So that's going to be your fermented. Now, talking about cooked hot sauce and salsas, that's where you kind of simmer it to enhance the flavor. It also adds to the shelf stability by doing that. It smooths out, enriches the overall consistency of your sauce, of your salsa. Some of the other things that kind of happen with that as well is it can lose some of the raw nutritional value, but just increases tremendously with the depth and flavor. It's really kind of forcing everything to want to play together and be nice and really increase that overall flavor profile, if you will. Some common areas as well, talking about other different methods, would be more of the uncooked hot sauce and salsa. Now, this is going to be stuff that you would find at most restaurants. Typically, if they're making it in-house, you'll find this a little bit more commonly there. This is going to be fresh. It's going to be bright, crisp. It's going to retain all the full maximum amount of the vitamins and enzymes content, that's really carried on inside those ingredients that go into that sauce or salsa. Oftentimes, once again, as I had mentioned, this is going to be something you'd find more in, say, a restaurant that is making this in-house themselves. And that's mostly because it has a shorter shelf life compared to cooked or fermented hot sauces or salsas. So with that being, the overarching 3 different iterations, let's now start looking at the health benefits of each method. So fermented, you are left with a great rich in probiotics. It's aiding in digestion and immune function. It acts as a natural preservation. So it extending out really that shelf life of what you can expect out of your sauces, out of your hot sauce, your salsas. And really it lowers the acidity. And, some folks find that to be a bit easier on their stomach in the long run, as to where with cooked hot sauce or salsas, you're releasing a lot of the antioxidants like lycopene, which helps promote the heart health. And it can be easier to control the heat and flavor whenever you're talking about cooked sauces. Because oftentimes, as you're cooking a sauce, what you'll find out, you're able to really continue to add, if it's not quite as hot as you were expecting, or the flavor profile is not quite where you're wanting it, you can really be able to start fine-tuning that and adding or taking away in a sense of, like, let's say you got something that's just a little bit too much of a citrus forward and you're trying to balance it out. So you're trying to bring in some overall other flavors. So you add in, another ingredient to kind of help it in. You're able to make these adjustments more so with cooked sauce than you can with fermentation, because fermentation, we'll get into more how that has to work. But with cooked sauce, you're able to have a lot more ease of control of both the flavor and heat level. Some other things that you can do with cooked sauces is you're expecting, as you're cooking this down, what you're doing is you get it to a certain heat range. It does start to kill off that potential harmful bacteria that may appear, and making it more shelf stable. Now, for uncooked sauces or salsas, this is often very high in vitamin C, and it also has a lot of the raw enzymes that go on. This retains a lot of the natural crunch, a lot of the brightness from those ingredients, and it's really maximizing that fresh nutritional value. It also means it'll have the shortest shelf life. So not something that you would want to hold on to. You're going to want to use this one, kind of make it as you need to use it. That's kind of the best way to look at, say, a uncooked version of a hot sauce or salsa. So let's talk about some of the pros and cons for each of these methods. Fermented hot sauce or salsas, you're going to have some probiotic health benefits, really being able to help build up that, gut, help really drive home a more healthy immune system by utilizing fermented hot sauces. From there, you'll also have a long shelf life. You have that deep umami flavors. Some drawbacks from the fermented hot sauce or salsa method is it does require some patience. Oftentimes, this will take a minimum of a few weeks to really get the fermentation process to start. So if you're, needing a fast turnaround, fermentation process might not be the method best suited for you. Oftentimes also some drawbacks to the fermentation process is if you're not doing this properly, you run risk of having mold or bad bacteria start to get introduced and work itself in, as well as you could run into a risk of, say, having the pressures build up in that container that you are fermenting in. And if you have it completely sealed off without any kind of percolators or anything of that nature to let that gas escape, it can turn out pretty bad for you, and you can have some bottles, some jars, however you're fermenting within, explode and have those ingredients just go everywhere. Overall, as far as for cooked sauces, some pros are it's shelf stable. It develops a very rich and smooth flavor profile. It's easy to control the overall spice level, make adjustments as you're going. It gives you the ease of control to be able to handle the overall spice level. If you need to increase or an overall ingredient to really have that note carry forward, that's where it comes in best, is being able to make those adjustments. Now, some drawbacks to cooked hot sauce or salsa. You can lose some of the nutritional value as you are heating it up. Ultimately, this method does require heating, so there's going to be a heating process as to where with fermentating, you're not heating it up through that process. So if you are unable to heat up your sauce, but you still want it to be shelf stable, that's where fermentation will come into more effect. Some drawbacks. Once again, you're losing some of that nutritional value by heating it up. You also may be needing to add some preservatives to, say, to the bottling process to really help the longevity of the long-term storing of your sauce. Now, granted, if you're saving it for like a doomsday prepping type of scenario, that's where I would think the long-term effect might come into to play to really have that. But if you are utilizing this sauce or hot sauce really in a pretty frequent manner, you're not really going to have to worry about that. Cooked sauces also do have a nice shelf life long term, but it is one to note that adding some of those preservatives will increase the duration of your long-term storing of those sauce and salsas. As far as uncooked hot sauce and salsa, the pros to this is, well, first and foremost, it's quick, it's easy, it's fresh, like overall fresh taste that kind of carries forward, and you're able to have that high in nutrition really just sing forward. You're able to have those great notes. It's super simple, super fast, easy to go. The downside is you do have a shorter shelf life going on. This can be inconsistent in flavors over time. It can be not as spicy as fermented or cooked methods because you're not really allowing those ingredients to carry forward and really to just sing through. You have a lot of ingredients. Essentially, think of it as this way. You have a lot of ingredients that are sitting there trying to fight for your attention, to fight for your taste buds to really pick up and have going on, that they don't have the time to mingle and meld together like, say, a cooked sauce or a fermented sauce could. Now, how does one make each of these properly without getting too into the weeds on this, keeping it nice, high level, very just top-notch view down? The overall fermented hot sauce and salsa breakdown is going to be something like this. You'll have an ingredient list that would consist of peppers, certain percentage of salt, and then you're going to have water, garlic, and then you can add other optional fruits, veggies, etc. However you want to start to build these flavors, incorporate this into your hot sauce or salsa. So what happens from there? So after you got these ingredients, you're going to blend or chop really your ingredients together. The more fine these ingredients are, the easier it has a time to break down and really do its thing. So there are many methods to the fermentation process which you can go about this. You have your dry brines and you have your liquid brines. So ultimately, what we're just going to talk about here from a high level is going to be submerging it into a liquid brine. So from there, you're going to chop, you're going to blend it, you're going to get it nice and fine and incorporated. Then you're going to submerge it into your salt brine. Now, from that salt brine, everything will stay in that jar or container or whatever vessel you're using for about 1 to 4 weeks. Ultimately, you're going to want to stay closer to that 4 weeks marker because realistically, you probably won't see any kind of true fermentation happen until about week 1, end of week 1, really the end of week 2. Most of the times, if you're doing a quick ferment, you're going to be looking at least that 2-week marker. So anywhere from 2 to 4 weeks, you should be good there. A key tip here, I already mentioned it earlier, but making sure that your ingredients stay submerged under the liquid is going to be extremely important to help prevent mold from happening on your fermentation process. So some things not to do whenever you're talking fermentating your hot sauce or your salsas is you do not want to use chlorinated water, as this ends up killing off the beneficial bacteria. So make sure that your water source is not the chlorinated water, and also making sure that the container that you're using, whatever vessel you're using to ferment, is able to express out the gas without having, new oxygen come in is going to be super important. Once again, airtight can cause that gas buildup, which then can cause it to just completely explode on you. And you're not going to enjoy not only losing all the time and product that you've put into it, but having to clean up that mess as well. So having a nice air channel to be able to have the gas expel out of a percolator that is waterlocked, that way no oxygen can come in, is going to be absolutely key. Once again, just trying to keep it very high level, nice entry overview of that. We will be building out a whole separate episode, diving in deeper onto the fermentation process. So stay tuned for that. But let's talk about cooked hot sauce and salsas. Once again, ingredient list. We're going to be talking about peppers, vinegar, onions, garlic. You can add in tomatoes for the salsa. You can keep the tomatoes out. You can minimize it. However you want to go about it, ultimately adding in those ingredients, what you want out of your hot sauce or salsa, is going to be key. So peppers, vinegars, onion, garlic, whatever additional vegetables, fruits that you want to add in, and then spices from there. Really fine-tuning it to what speaks out to you and what flavor profiles you're trying to deliver forward. The process to this one, though, is going to be a little bit different. Instead of you having to wait and seal it all up and submerge it and all the other stuff, you're not having to worry about any of that. You blend it all up, you get it all going. However, if you want it super fine, of course, blend it. If you don't, rough chop, drop the ingredients in a pan, simmer those ingredients for about 10 or really anywhere from about 15 to 30 minutes. Blend that in if you want it nice and fine. Once again, if you do, blend it, strain it. If you don't, if you want a thicker salsa per se, having that rough chop, letting it simmer, letting it do its thing, it'll shrink down the ingredients a little bit, but still leave that nice chunky texture if that's what you're looking for. But here, one of the key tips that you can do is really After you've let it cook and after you've taken it off the heat, what ends up happening is that flavor profiles really start to just play well together overnight, and it ends up tasting better the next day. It is a very, very fun process. If you haven't experienced it yourself, try it right after it's done. Bottle it up, jar it up, whatever you're going to do. Store it, keep it there, and then check it out the next day, because wow, you will find out that there is a huge flavor pop difference that goes on. One thing you do not want to do though, when you're talking, cooked hot sauce or cooked salsa, is to make sure you don't overcook it. Too much heat can really mute the flavors, make it seem a little bit harsh, bitter, not really the desired outcome that you're looking for in your hot sauce or salsa. That can be a huge risk there. So as far as your uncooked hot sauces and salsas, let's run through the overall ingredients list. With this one here, you're going to be just using some fresh peppers, some lime juice, maybe some vinegar, some onions, some garlic. And once again, if you're doing salsa, incorporate maybe some tomatoes, some other vegetables, etc. You just kind of want whatever flavor profile that you are looking to create out. You're going to include that in this ingredient list. But the process on this one is going to be much similar to the cooked. You're going to either chop it or blend it, depending on the overall consistency that you're trying to get. And then you're going to want to mix it very well. Get it all nice incorporated, because as like with the cooked salsa, you're kind of forcing everything to play well together. This one, the more you mix it, the more you get it incorporated, is really what's going to drive that flavor and bring that harmonious nature to it and really develop those flavors. So from there, once you've chopped it, blended it, mixed it, you want to refrigerate this, and really ideally you're going to be using this within the week. One of the main things is if you let this sit for a few hours just before you serve it, between the mixing and letting it rest, it'll allow those flavors to just bring forward, kind of marry together as best as possible. Once again, it's not going to be quite as harmonious as, say, the cooked method, but you mix it well, you let it sit, it's going to bring all those nice flavors together and very much pair it together and not really compete for your attention, if you will. Some things not to do whenever you're making uncooked hot sauce or salsas is you do not want to store these too long. This method, it does spoil relatively quick. So how you store it is going to be proper as well, making sure that you're able to close the lid, prevent anything from kind of falling in there. You don't want this one sitting in your fridge or on the counter too long. You really want to be able to seal it up, put it back in the refrigerator, and use it within that kind of week span before really any issues arise. So which hot sauce or salsa method do you swear by? Are you team fermented or are you team cooked? Are you team fresh? Do you like that, being able to use it right there, then in the moment? Drop that in the comments below. Let me know which one stands out the most to you, or which avenue you want to explore more about. If there was a specific topic that you would like to go deeper in depth on, let me know as well, and I will tee that up as a future episode. But hey, if you enjoyed the products here on Hot or Not tonight from Spicy Caballero, I will have the direct links down below for those, as well as a direct link to the website so you can check out the full lineup. And don't forget, chili heads, if you're looking for that great flavor and great heat, check out the Texas Creeper from Spicy Caballero. It is absolutely a phenomenal spice blend, and one that I use often here at my own home to heat up not only my steaks, my chicken, my pork, my rice dishes, my veggies, my soups, my stews. It is absolutely amazing. Goes on just about anything. So go ahead and check out all of Ed's products. But continue to share this out with other like-minded chili heads or individuals curious about the world of hot. And don't forget, new episodes drop every Tuesday and Thursday night. And I want to give a quick shout out as well to our sponsors. We have podvision.io. If you're looking to grow your brand, start your brand, you hit a bump in the road, you're trying to figure things out, highly recommend checking out podvision.io for all your needs, as well as webdx.one. If you have an online website, you have an online presence, but maybe it's not receptive of exactly who you are and how great your company is, man, go ahead and check out webdx.one for all those needs. Thanks for checking out the Swear Word Podcast, and make sure you like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss the next episode. And hey, I'm Brandon Swear, and from everything from the world of hot, this has been the Swear Word.